Hi everyone, thanks for coming back to watch another one of my videos. I figured that the next video that I should do is my nail care. When I file my nails, again, I use my Sephora nail file that I told you about in my first video. I use my smoother to clean my cuticles, my Blue Cross, which of course I need my Tweezerman cuticle pusher, and my cuticle trimmers. So the first thing I do always is I file my nails. Now when I file them, I don't do anything special. I just take my file and I usually, and I know everyone says this is bad, that you should never do a back and forth motion, but I always, and there you go, I always, and it's the only way I've ever done them, I always file back and forth like this. When I'm doing my nails, I always go back and forth. They say that this causes your nails to split and it causes damage to your nail. So the way I do my nails is to always do a back and forth motion, and then I take my time to make sure that my nail is straight. I always keep the nail file straight. I never bend it in any motion, because the straighter I keep the nail file, the straighter my nails will be. And I go through on each one. Once I have my nails filed, I go back over them with my smoother, my OPI smoother that I showed you guys the other day. OPI smoother is very important because it gives me the chance to put a nice buff on my nails. So I just do a light buffing just by running it over the top of my nails, and I always buff the edge. I run it across the edge like that, and then, just to make sure the edge is nice, I run it down like this, and show you, oops, sorry, I also run it up just to get anything that might be underneath the nail out. So that is how I smooth my nails. Because my nails are square, my ends can be very pointy. So I also will go through and just hit underneath each corner to try and get rid of the sharpness on the corners. And just so you know, I always file my nails before I do my cuticles. So the next step is the cuticles. And I prefer the Blue Cross cuticle remover. I have used other ones in the past, but the Blue Cross available at Sally's I have found to be the best way to remove any of the dead skin and the dead cuticles around your nail and to clean them up. So you give it a quick shake. Then you're going to take, and I know some people talk about putting this into a different bottle. It works for me the way it is, so I don't worry about that. I don't feel the need to put it in anything else, but it is runny, so you want to make sure that you have something down to catch. So I always put an extra napkin down, but you don't want to do this on a plain surface. You always want to have something down to catch the liquid as it runs off. And then I just go through, I put a bubble on each nail, and I use the side to spread it out on my nail. And you can see it is runny. It's down, you just leave it set for a minute or two. With this, which is why it is so nice, you don't need to leave it sit for a long period of time. With some, they'll say you have to leave it sit for like 5 minutes, but not with this one. So go ahead, just let it sit for a couple minutes. If it dries up, just put a little bit more and let it soak in a little bit longer. The next step is to bring out my Tweezerman cuticle pusher. For this, just take your cuticle pusher and you take it at an angle on your nail, holding it up a little bit. I'm going to run it. I'm not sure what type of angle that is. I'm just going to run it down the side of my nail. And you're going to pick up, run it down the side of your nail. Around the base or the bottom of the nail at the cuticle. Don't be too hard because you don't want to cut yourself or the cuticle. You don't want to cause damage. Then you'll see that all your dead stuff is going to start coming off your nail. Let's see if I can. Yeah, so all this starts coming off your nail. So you're just going to go through and clean up each nail. There you go. See, there's all that dead stuff. All the dead stuff. Now that I have the cuticles and all the dead skin pushed up and cleaned off my nails, you can see there's a lot of loose stuff hanging on my nails, and that's going to be the next thing I'm going to do. But before I go to work taking care of all that loose stuff hanging off, you need to wash the Blue Cross off your fingers. So warm soapy water to get this all cleaned off. I'm now going to take care of all the loose skin that's hanging off my nails. You can really see it on that one. It's important to point out that I am not cutting my cuticles. You never want to cut your cuticles off. This can lead to damage to your fingernails, issues and infections. Your cuticles are there for a reason, and you should always do your best to keep them healthy. Just look to see where the loose pieces are at. And I just take my clippers in and I clip those little loose pieces right off. Again, I am not clipping the cuticle. I'm only trimming those loose pieces that are hanging off the nail, like that. So you go through and you take off all those loose pieces. So now I have my nails all cleaned up. All the little pieces are gone. All the dead skin around my fingernails is clean. So I am now ready to start doing whatever nail art or swatching is next. I think it's also one last thing to point out is that all my tools, my cuticle pusher, I go ahead and I do a little tap, little cleanup in acetone to make sure that all the stuff is cleaned off of them. That keeps them nice and clean. I also do the same thing with my cuticle trimmers. I just do a little bath in the acetone to clean off anything that would have been left over. And then I let them dry before I put them away. Of course, your very last thing, add some moisturizer, either through the use of a cuticle oil. At night, I always make sure that I use lemony flutter from Lush. I love that stuff. I put it on every night before I go to bed, along with hand lotion. So I always want to make sure that you keep your hands and your cuticles moisturized. That will keep your cuticles looking nicer longer. And also, another good hint, always drink lots of water every day. That will also help with your skin and keeping your cuticles nice. I cannot stress that enough. So moisturize, lots of water, and you will have nice cuticles and beautiful nails. That's my nail routine. I hope I was able to answer some of the typical questions that people ask with what I do with my nails. And now I am ready to start doing some nail art. So thanks for stopping by. Stay tuned for the next video.